And we're live. This is Milan Levis, your financial empowerment mentor. It's been a while since I did live videos, so I'm very excited to talk to you today. After being sick and then traveling, I went to Hawaii for my birthday this year. So I just came back and I finally back in my my energized me, and I'm happy to start my live video transmission. So frankly, today, just for those of you who are going to join us later on, I just want to tell you that I would suggest that you have some notebooks with you, because I want to share with you some pretty useful information. Frankly, today I was planning to talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and all this hype stuff that everybody is talking about, and I'm going to post a blog post about this topic. However, during my travel, I've met so many women who suffer from recurring patterns of thinking, from living in the past, from having this clutter in their houses and in their mind. So I decided to change my original topic of this video and talk about decluttering. Okay, so today's topic is how to declutter your inner and outer environment. And I just want to tell you things that I share. I penciled 8 points that I want to share with you today. And I just want to tell you, if something of this will hurt the nerve, don't think that you're alone, because I'm constantly decluttering my own stuff in my mind and in my home. The other day I was walking in the morning, and I caught myself thinking that, oh my God, I don't have enough time, I have to go back. And this, I don't have enough pattern, not enough time, not enough money, not enough love, not enough success, is a very common recurring pattern. So anyway, so I just want to share with you that most people have this need to declutter. And that's why I decided to talk about this important topic. So first of all, I would like to start with the obvious and usual term that applies to decluttering your physical environment. When you have a lot of stuff in the place where you live, maybe your bedroom, your office, your kitchen, your closet, when you have a lot of stuff, it creates additional stimuli for your mind. So your mind is constantly bombarded with these messages from the stuff around you, and it also gives your mind signals that something needs to be done. That's how our mind interprets when we have a lot of stuff in our living environment. So some people really have very cluttered houses, some somewhat cluttered, but it's a good idea to have a habit of having, you know, more kind of like a Zen environment, where you don't have a lot of stuff from your travel, you know, all these tchotchkes that we all like to buy as a souvenirs from our travel. Just try not to overwhelm your home environment with this, okay? So what I would like to suggest, maybe offer some of your possessions that you don't need or don't enjoy having. Maybe offer them to the charity, or do the garage sale, or sell some stuff online. You know, that's a way not only declutter, but also make some money from accumulated stuff that you have in your home. So the bottom line is, you really need to pay attention to your physical environment, because your physical environment certainly affects your mental, emotional environment, or your mind, your emotional and mental health. So that was item number one. Number two is, it's a very good idea to have a habit of monitoring your thought process, because awareness is a very powerful tool to bring light to the way you perceive things, and how you I have a word translate, but it's not the right word. How you process the situations in your life, or circumstances in your life. Okay, so very, very important to have this awareness. Like at the beginning, I mentioned that I caught myself thinking that I don't have enough time, and then it goes to nothing. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough success, etc. So it becomes catch-22 downward spiral. That's why I want you to, as a point number two, I want you to monitor your thought patterns and write down any limiting thinking that you may caught yourself having. Maybe sometimes it's I don't have enough, etc. Or sometimes I'm not enough, or I'm not good enough to have a lot of money. I'm not good enough to have successful business. So write it down on maybe index cards, right? And collect this in the index cards with your limiting thoughts. And then make time to go through these index cards and write something opposite of this limiting belief, something that your highest self would say to you, okay? And make affirmations from this positive highest self reflection of how you can react to circumstances in your life. I also, number three is to do the mind dump, because we have a habit of accumulating a lot of stuff in our head without having outlet of sharing this stuff, right? So, we think about work situation and relationships and money, and all of this stuff is running, these programs running in our head, and sometimes become so overwhelming that we feel overwhelmed. And it doesn't have to be that way. So it's a very good practice to maybe take time in the morning and do the, or at night, or both, and do the mind dump. Start writing whatever you have on your mind. Don't screen it, don't judge it, just start writing, dumping this stuff on the paper. And you may even not read it if you don't want to, or you may look at this when you're in a different state of mind and say, oh my God, all this garbage was in my head. So it's a very good way of reflection, what is happening with you, especially when you feel stressed out, when you feel frustrated. So it's a very good exercise to write whatever is on your mind. And also journaling. Journaling is a very good idea when you want to do introspection. And the exercise that I suggested was index cards. It's part of journaling. So you can write down maybe the limiting thoughts in your journal. Just notice when they pop up, like maybe when you wake up and you notice it, or when you go to bed. Just start journaling what you feel, expressing your feelings on the paper. And then from that, you can transfer this to index cards and collect your maybe negative statements that you say to yourself, and then transform them into positive affirmations. Okay, so next is number 4 is prioritize. Prioritize and focus on your highest priority task, because there is nothing more overwhelming and kind of creating clutter in your mind when you have a very, very long to-do list, and it feels like it never ends, right? So I personally use to-do list. It helps me to organize my task and my priorities. And then I start from the top. And if I have time for a less priority task, fine. If I don't, I know it's not important because it was not my highest priority. So I also, something that's very kind of not easy for me to say, but I recommend that you avoid multitasking. I said it's not easy for me to say because I tend to multitask very often, and most women actually habitually multitask. But when you multitask, you have to switch focus back and forth all the time from one task to another, and sometimes it leads to first of all feeling tired and sometimes overwhelmed when you do multiple tasks at the same time. And sometimes you just make more mistakes because your mind doesn't switch quickly from one task to another. So if you cannot stop multitasking altogether, at least decrease the amount of multitasking in your life. But the point is that when you have your tasks and you feel that you need to do this and you need to do this, just choose one task that you need to do and start. Because sometimes we, when we multitask, because we feel overwhelmed, we don't even start on doing something. That is important. Okay, so that was number 5. Number 6, very interesting and very important in this day and age. We need to limit our information that we receive, that coming in. That could be, you could start with maybe decreasing the amount of TV that you watch, or amount of social media, amount of time you spend on social media, which is the big sucker of time and energy. I can tell you that. And just have more time for social life, for meeting with friends, for connecting with your clients. The information that we all are bombarded with every day, with the news, with the with the social media posts, with the thousands of emails every day, it creates a clutter as well. And everything that feels like a clutter in your mind leads to feeling overwhelmed. Number 7 is I hope that you all focus on your present and planning for your future, but not on your past. Like I said, I met a lot of women who were hurt in the past, and their feelings are still attached to the events that they had in the past, whether it was divorce or loss of money, loss of investment, loss of job, loss of relationship. They still have the energy inside their bodies that represents these emotions that they experience. So these emotions are still orphaned in their body, but still there. So it's very important that, first of all, you're not moving in this direction in the past. So remind yourself that, I don't want to look at what happened in the past because I'm not moving in this direction. So focus on your present and plan for the future and work toward your future. And I highly recommend that you use some healing techniques to release this stored emotional charge in your body, because it's energy. This orphan emotions is energy that possibly blocking some of your efforts. And I recently learned some healing techniques called Instant Miracle, how to release this energy and peace process. So I know that it's possible, not only from these techniques, but from others. And I know that it's very, very important, because this energetic blocks can create havoc in your physical health and emotional health, obviously, as well. So that was number 7. Number 8 is, I highly recommend that you find a way or learn or make time, learn and make time to meditate, because ultimately the purpose of meditation is to train your brain to slow down and focus on certain things. It could be breathing, or just keeping a single focus. Usually it's for beginners, people who are beginners in meditation, they recommend to focus on your breath, because it teaches you how to focus your attention on one thing, right? And it relaxes your mind, it relaxes your entire body, and usually it boosts your creativity after meditation, because you it's a very quick way to declutter your focus from tasking, from multitask focus to one single focus. And it helps to relax your mind and feel more creative, because you are not in an overwhelmed state. Okay, so and state is very important. So every morning when you wake up, if your state is uplifting and you're excited about day to come, then you are likely in a more creative state, creative mood than when you your state, your physiological state is tiredness and feeling stressed out, etc. So pay attention to your physiological state, because that leads to everything else, all the experiences that you have that day. So again, the conclusion is that the mental clutter definitely affects how you experience life, how you perceive yourself, your successes, and remember that self-love is an engine of success. So very important to nurture yourself, inspire yourself by acknowledging your efforts, by accepting your current situation, etc. So I just want to tell you that if you need help with physical decluttering, I have a woman who I would highly recommend you to talk to. Her name is, just lost the name, but anyway, if you're interested in physical decluttering, let me know. I will contact you. Connie, her name is Connie. So I will help you to connect with her. And if you want to feel more organized with your efforts to start creating wealth and financial independence in your life, I suggest that you download my free wealth planner at daretochange.life.com/plan. I'll put the link below this video. So that this planner will help you to structure your efforts and also bring your awareness to the way you think about certain aspects of your financial life. So it will certainly help you to be more organized when it comes to financial life, okay? Your finances and investments. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today, and I would love to see your comments, because maybe you have more points to share how to declutter your mind and your physical environment. I would love to see them and learn from them, because like I said, I'm too in a constant process of decluttering my mind and my physical environment. Okay, so that's all for today, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. I'm planning to do this live video broadcast every week from now on, and until we meet again, stay empowered. Have a nice day.